You've seen the photo. A goat, standing calmly on the face of a near-vertical wall, a dam, or a sheer cliff, hundreds of feet up, on a surface so steep the animal looks glued to it. No rope, no ledge worth the name, nothing between it and a very long fall. And it just stands there, chewing, like it's the most natural place in the world to be. It's one of the internet's favorite images, and it always comes with the same caption: mountain goats, fearless, gravity-defying, nature's daredevils. And almost everything about that caption is wrong. That goat is not a fearless daredevil, and it is not showing off. The truth is stranger and much darker. What you're looking at is a nervous, vegetarian prey animal doing something that kills an enormous number of its own kind every single year, and it is not doing it to be brave. It's doing it because the wall is the safest place it has. The terrible catch, the thing no caption ever mentions, is that the safest place it has is also one of the deadliest places on the entire mountain. That goat isn't defying death up there. It's living right next to it, on purpose, and it doesn't have a choice. This is the story of what's really happening when a goat stands on an impossible wall. It comes in 3 parts, each better than the wow nature version. First, how it physically does it, a piece of animal engineering so good that human companies copy it. Then, why it's really up there, which is nothing like what the captions say. And finally, the part nobody posts, the staggering price these animals pay for their so-called superpower. We start with the how, because it genuinely is incredible. Look at the hoof, because that's where the magic lives. A goat's hoof isn't one solid block like a horse's. It's split into 2 toes that spread apart independently, so each side can grab separately and widen its grip. And each toe is a 2-part tool. Around the outside runs a hard, sharp rim of keratin, the same material as your fingernails, tough enough to catch and hook onto ledges and cracks barely the width of a coin. And tucked inside that hard rim is a soft, rubbery, slightly hollowed pad that does the other half of the job. It molds to the exact shape of the rock and grips by friction, pressing down into a suction-like hold, exactly like the sole of a rock climber's shoe. So every foot is a climbing hook and a rubber grip at the same time, hard edges to catch the invisible ledge, soft pads to stick to it. Give that to a low, heavy, muscular body that keeps its weight pressed into the wall, and you get an animal built to stand on the unstandable. Engineers have literally studied these hooves to design better boots. Evolution made the perfect climbing shoe millions of years before we did. That part of the legend is completely true. It's the why that's been sold to you backwards. Because no goat scales a lethal wall for fun, or the view, or to prove a point. It climbs for 2 survival reasons, and the first is almost funny, until you realize it's fatal. Salt. A goat's diet up there, grass, moss, lichen, is starved of sodium and the minerals its body needs. So it craves salt the way you'd crave water in a desert. And certain rocks, and especially the concrete of man-made dams, slowly leach out exactly those mineral salts. That's the secret behind the unbelievable dam photos. The goats are scaling a sheer 50-meter wall to lick it. They are risking a fatal fall for a mouthful of minerals, and the craving beats the fear every time. And the second reason rewrites the whole animal. Why does a goat live on cliffs in the first place? Not because it's brave, because it's slow. A mountain goat is a poor runner. In an open meadow, a wolf or a cougar runs it down with ease. It cannot win a chase, ever. So it evolved a completely different answer. Don't run away, run up. Onto terrain so steep and broken that nothing hunting it can follow. That calm goat on the impossible wall isn't feeling fearless. It's standing in the one place on Earth where the things that want to eat it simply cannot go. It's not a daredevil. It's a prey animal that found the ultimate hiding place. A vertical fortress with a single door that only it can open. Mothers even climb up to give birth on these ledges, because a newborn is safest where no predator can reach. But here's the catch. Built into that fortress, the part that never survives into the caption, the exact terrain that locks predators out, steep, high, snow-loaded slopes, is, for a completely different reason, the deadliest ground on the mountain. It kills them at a scale that's genuinely shocking. Scientists in Alaska spent 17 years tracking more than 400 mountain goats with GPS collars, following each animal until the day it died, just to learn how these creatures actually meet their end. The answer floored them. In some years, avalanches caused as much as 65% of all goat deaths, snowslides sweeping them off the slopes by the dozen. And the reason is brutal. The researchers found that the slope angle a goat prefers, the steep pitch that keeps predators away, is almost exactly the slope angle that produces the most avalanches. In their words, the goats put themselves right in the line of fire. The fortress and the kill zone are the same wall. And that's before the ones that simply fall, from wet rock, from rockfall, and grimly, from fighting. In mating season, males ram each other on narrow ledges, and one hard shove in the wrong place sends a rival straight off the edge. For every triumphant photo of a goat on a wall, there are goats at the bottom of one. Let me be fair to the goat here, because it is not clumsy. It's the opposite. These animals are breathtakingly good at this. The overwhelming majority of the time, those hooves and that low, heavy body work flawlessly, and the goat that looks glued to the wall genuinely is that secure. The danger was never that they're bad climbers. It's that predators and hunger have forced them to spend their entire lives in a place where a single bad moment, one avalanche, one wet ledge, one shove, is fatal. And one honest footnote: the famous dam climbers in those viral clips are usually alpine ibex, a close cousin, and technically the North American mountain goat isn't even a true goat at all. But the story holds for both. Same hooves, same hungers, same deadly bargain. And that bargain is the real thing to carry away, because it's true of so much more than goats. We look at an animal's astonishing ability and call it a superpower, a gift, something it gets to do. But evolution doesn't hand out gifts. It makes trades, and the trades are merciless. The goat never won the ability to climb. It was pushed onto the cliff, because everywhere else it would be eaten, and the price of that safety is a whole life lived one misstep from death, in the path of avalanches, for a body that can never get quite enough salt. Its single greatest strength and its single greatest danger are the same object, the wall. That isn't a superpower. It's a corner it was backed into so completely that it evolved to survive there. So the next time that photo scrolls past, the goat impossibly high on the sheer face, calm as anything, captioned fearless, you'll see what's really there. Not a daredevil, a slow, nervous, salt-starved prey animal, hiding from wolves it could never outrun, standing on the one ground nothing else can reach, and paying for that safety with a lifetime balanced on the edge of a fatal fall. It was never defying death up there. It's negotiating with it, trading one way to die for another, every single day, for the privilege of standing in the one place nothing else can follow.